Kade Horton with another amazing outing. And he's right up there at the top, the favorite to win the NL Rookie of the Year. But he said he'd rather win a bigger prize. How about the prize? And I'd love to see the Cubs do that as well. We're going to talk about what he's been able to do since the All-Star break and why he is so important to this year's team and the future of Cubs baseball. Kyle Tucker finally to the IL, and it took forever. And why? Why did it take so long? And why did the Cubs bring up Moises Ballesteros and not Owen Casey? It's awful strange. I'm going to tell you why I think they did that. Closer Daniel Palencia could be out for the rest of the season. That's going to affect the Cubs. We'll get into that. Although they do get Jameson Taillon back, so some good news there. And they cut into that magic number to make the postseason. All that right here on the Cubs Baseball channel. So like and subscribe and thumbs up. Thank you guys for being here. And let's get this thing started. Go. Say everybody, Mick Gillespie, Cubs Baseball channel. Don't forget about our AveD, Mick Nation, playoff tickets, swag, all that stuff we're giving away, and we want you to be a part of it. And it's free. It's just signing up. Hey, think the Cubs are going to win this series? You think the Cubs are going to win this game? And then we tally up the totals and reset it. We have a leaderboard just like the Cubs have standings. All right, let me get into a couple of things. And let me start out with this right here. Kade Horton, excellent again. Now, I would love to say that I saw this coming. Now, I knew the guy was good, and I said that before he ever pitched in the big leagues. I've been saying it for years that this guy has talent like Pryor and Wood. For those of you guys that watched the show for a long time, I used to say the Cubs needed to keep him in bubble wrap, remember? Because I didn't want anything to happen to him when he was in Iowa. And he's been just brilliant. I mean, just absolutely brilliant. He is a bulldog. He pitches with a football mentality. And again, last night in Atlanta, he was great. Gave up one run, kept the Cubs in the game. They finally broke through against the Braves late, and they look for a series victory today. The guy is just excellent. He pitches with a chip on his shoulder. Love the fastball. Love the slider and the curveball, the changeup. But his mentality, he's just not afraid out there. And he just keeps getting better and better and better. And since the All-Star break, his last 10 starts, he's got a .84 ERA, 53 and a third innings. He's got 46 strikeouts to 14 walks, and he's only allowed 2 home runs. He is challenging batters. He's getting them out. And it does not surprise me at all that he is now just distancing himself a little bit in that NL Rookie of the Year race. And I think that it's an important race. Only 6 Cubs have ever won. I thought, hey, this guy's as talented as Pryor and Wood. And I kept saying that on the shows. He's the best prospect the Cubs have had pitching-wise since Mark Pryor and Kerry Wood. And Kerry Wood won the Rookie of the Year. And Horton, I think, is going to win it too. He's got the look. He's got the stats. He's got the streak. And he's in the toughest position in this game, starting pitching. The most sought-after spot in baseball is starting pitching. And so he's been really good. And as the Cubs get closer and closer to making the playoffs, I don't know if they make it without him. I mean, he's been, since the All-Star break, as good as anybody, and I mean anybody. And this team has struggled. He's been the stopper. He's been the one guy that is going to go out there. He's been better than Boyd. He's been better than Shota, and they've been good. And through all of the other stuff that's going on, he's just been so consistent. I love watching him pitch, and I think there's really big things ahead for him if he can stay healthy. But I loved it too when in the post game they're talking to him about the Rookie of the Year, and he's like, I'd rather win the World Series. That's the mentality that I love about this guy. He is a winner. I watched him pitch the final game of the AA championship in 2023, and he just shoved. And the Cubs affiliate, the Smokies, hadn't won a championship in like 40-some years. This guy goes out there, and it was like nothing. Like, hey, he's the kind of guy that the Cubs want to get in a short series. He better start one of those games in the postseason. And we're starting to see him pitch a little more. It's been like 5 innings, 6, pitched into the 7th last night. His stats definitely reflect that third time around, he's getting hit more, but that's any pitcher. That's how baseball's been, except Nolan Ryan, who seemed to always get stronger as the game went on. But this kid's just so impressive, and another excellent outing for the Cubs. Now, second thing I wanted to talk about, and if you watched yesterday's show, I just kept wondering, and the show didn't start yesterday as a show talking about why the Cubs haven't put Kyle Tucker on the IL. It kind of turned into that. And I looked at this and I'm like, what's going on here, right? The guy hadn't played since the 2nd. Here it is the 8th yesterday or 2 days ago, right? He still hasn't played. And he's got a calf strain. They take a while to heal. Look, you got players in the minor leagues that you can use, including Owen Casey, who came in and really represented himself so well. Put him out in the outfield and get out of the way. And the Cubs finally put Tucker on the IL, and they go and get Moises Ballesteros, a catcher, and not Owen Casey. So I see what the formula is. Hey, Seiya Suzuki was the right fielder before. He's playing right field. So you got Happ in left, you got PCA in center, and you got Suzuki in right. Suzuki's been struggling. It's good to see kind of Hollywood Pete starting to break out of it. Ian Happ is it's always like this, way up, way down. When Owen Casey finally got an opportunity to play, he did things. And it feels like to me that the reason the Cubs aren't bringing him up, Owen Casey, and they're using Moises, which I'm fine with Moises Ballesteros. Like he's another guy that should be able to help spark this lineup that has been so anemic. Had a burst late in the game against the Braves, but there's just a lot of bad at-bats and uncompetitive at-bats and innings where they're going down 1, 2, 3. I feel like they don't want us asking them why Casey isn't playing. And I feel like that's the stubbornness. That's why yesterday's show was, stubborn Cubs, right? It's like they're going to go down with the ship no matter what. And this is the mindset that Joe Madden always kind of worked against. Like he was never afraid to put somebody in there that could help the team. He didn't care if the media asked him why somebody played or didn't play. This just feels like to me, hey, we don't want to hear about Owen Casey, so we're not going to bring the guy up. Or we don't have enough at bats, which I think is just absolute malarkey. But whatever. They're going to live and die with this lineup and these players. And if they die in the first round of the playoffs and they gave up so much to get Tucker, then that's on them. Do you feel like they're doing everything possible to try to win games? Are you comfortable with them going out and having the 40-year-old guys coming off the bench and then not using the guys that they have in their system? I don't know. I mean, to me, it's like, why have an organization if you're not going to use it? Because you look at the other teams around baseball. I said it before. When the Cardinals win the World Series, every once in a while they unexpectedly win it, and it's always guys that they just find these guys in their system and pop them up, and they're good. Not everybody's the Dodgers that go out there and pay billions of dollars for talent. And teams win all the time with players within their system. But it's always like the Cubs are going to go out and find somebody, pull them off the street, and turn them into something. Or somebody that's like, 3-4 years past their prime, like Santana. It's just, you sit there and look at it instead of having somebody up there that's, like Owen Casey, the guy's hitting the ball 114 miles an hour. And like every time he's up there swinging, you're like, yeah, it's something crazy's about to happen. So I don't know. My opinion is they just don't want to hear people asking about Owen Casey. So they brought up, Ballesteros. He can hit too. I like the idea. And we'll see if what they do about Jackson Wiggins, because now they're saying that Daniel Palencia might not return this season. They had the shoulder issue, looked terrible. Now, they haven't come out and said it, but you kind of get that vibe. That's a huge loss for the Cubs. And, we'll see how they figure it out. They got all these guys that they've been signing, and I don't mind that at all. Like, off the scrap heap type guys that they're hoping that they might be able to find a diamond in the rough. But they got a guy in their system that can go in and throw, 98 and throw for strikes and get outs. Guarantee it. So, we'll see how that turns out. Now, Jameson Taillon back, and he is back in the rotation. So good to have him back. I'm still waiting on what's going to happen Mike Soroka-wise. But this is kind of part of it. You sometimes – you lose guys and then you get them back. And when they get back, they provide you a spark, so we'll see if Taillon can do that. 9-6 record, 4.15 ERA, and he'll go up against Chris Sale, who's dealt with some injuries. I was really hoping that the Cubs would have made a deal for Sale. 5-4 record and a 2.38 ERA. Man, this guy is just Chris Sale to me. He pitches angry, got great stuff. And he is someone that you put right at the top of your rotation, and he's going to help you win. So tough matchup for the Cubs. Another night game in Atlanta against the Braves as the Cubs try to get some runs and win the series. Wouldn't that be great? Now, magic number is trimmed to 10, and the Cubs wild card lead is getting bigger and bigger. So the good news, 10 now is the magic number. You're seeing a lot of teams, not just the Cubs, that are tired right now and this time of year. I mean, I think this is just the way that baseball is. But the wild card race showing that the Cubs are up now 6 games over the rest of the pack for the number 1 wild card spot, 82-63. What a great season that they're having record wise. It doesn't always feel like that, but they're getting it done. The Mets are sliding. The Padres are, they've won 3 straight. They're the number 2 wild card right now. And the Giants are hanging in there, 2.5 games back. The Reds are 3.5 games back now. When I'm doing this, those games are still taking place out on the West Coast. But Cubs magic number is 10. That means 10 wins or 10 losses by the Giants, and the Reds would eliminate those teams and put the Cubs in the postseason. All right. Thanks for being here again. Don't forget about our Mick Nation D community. Some of you guys have done that. Thank you so much. I promise you I'm going to give away tickets and some other cool stuff. We got T-shirts, we got hats. We're designing stuff just for this. We budgeted money just for this and for you guys, because I want to see you guys walking around with some of our swag on. And I haven't forgot about Naren saying that we need coffee mugs. So we'll look at that as well too. But thank you guys for being here. Like, subscribe, thumbs up. Cardinals fans, hey, you guys, I think you're not quite officially eliminated yet, but it's coming soon. So we'll celebrate when you guys are officially out with you. And I want to tell you this too. Hey, as you plan your next vacation, think about the Great Smoky Mountains and think about our friends in Sevierville.
When you head to the Smoky Mountains, it's only natural to visit Sevierville.
Even we had to check it out.
And we've been here our whole lives.
Experience the adventure of a lifetime.
I'm king of the world.
Even you can get a bird's eye view of the Smokies.
You're going down, Billy. Whoa.
Your Smokies start here.